Hello all. So again, I have the new topic, which is predominantly speaking on to the security part, is Azure Key Vault. So a lot of many things has been spoken about the Azure Key Vault and the kind of uses and the vast majority of the people are utilizing in a different aspect. But what I wanted to touch base on this is like watching this video will definitely going to clear your all the doubts about the usability, the cost effectiveness, and when and how to be used when you are deploying your infrastructure on cloud or even on-prem. What all the things you can put under the key vault of Azure Cloud. So to restructure it, that Azure Key Vault, it is a robust solution for securely managing keys, right? When you're saying keys, I mean any of your secrets or your certificates, whatever you have, like keys, secrets, certificate into the cloud. It is also offering a centralized cloud-based service to safeguard sensitive information, which can be effectively leveraged Azure Key Vault. It is very crucial to understand that is how this architecture is, what all the topologies are involved, what all the components are inside, how to this creation, management, and access configurations are in place of Azure Key Vault. If you talk about the Azure Key Vault, it streamlines the secrets, keys, and certificate management process and enables you to maintain strict control over secrets. Not only secrets, but your keys or certificate, and you can access it though the data is completely encrypted. This expedites the overall project delivery by having developers create keys quickly or development and testing, and then seamlessly migrate them to production keys. So this is what I wanted to discuss here. If you see here, overall, the Azure Key Vault, then what are all the importance of the key management and secrets management, and then your uses and scenarios. If you see here in this picture, it's very authentic and informative, like how one admin can do the complete life cycle of the key vault management. Right now, if I touch base about the basics, what all the key vault basics are, that key vault architecture and components we need to understand, then creating and managing a key vault, and then key vault access policies. If you see here, the key vault architecture, the components are basically vaults, keys, secrets, and certificate. Certificate is like managing the certificate of for SSL, TLS encryption. If you're talking about the secrets, all the sensitive information like password, API keys, and connection strings. When we are saying keys, what exactly I mean to is like cryptographic keys used for encryption and decryption. Now, when we are saying vaults, what is the vault? Vault is something like, very sensitive or very valuable information to be kept, like containers for storing your secrets, keys, and certificate. Now, how do you create and manage the key vaults is something we have to go on to the Azure portal. If you go onto the Azure portal, accessing the Azure portal and navigate to the key vaults or type into the search bar key vaults, then you have to go for the creating the key vaults. And then you have to probably click on create and fill the required details like name, subscription, resource group, and location. And then you can do the configuration of the pricing tier and access policies. Once it is done, then how you're going to manage the keys? So those keys you can enter, like there's a section, right? Add keys via the keys section in your key vault, and then choose the key type like RSA or EC and probably the size. And that's how you can specify the activation and expiration dates. These are all the basic things normally we do. We'll move on to the next slide where we are going to manage the secrets, right? We have already spoken. Then managing the keys, like key types and uses, symmetric or asymmetric keys, key creations, import, and lifecycle management. And then we have a key vault backed key cryptographic operations. When we are talking about the managing certificate, certificate is in key vault. Then we can import, generate, and managing the certificate, and then auto renewal and integration with Azure services. Access control and security. Access control, if you see, role-based access control RBAC for the key vault can be assigned, configured, and implemented. Then you as an admin or end user will be having the authorization to manage the access policies or create the access policies, and accordingly using your Azure AD to secure your key vault access. Now, monitoring and logging is something where you have to enable and configure the diagnostic logs. Then integration of the key vault with Azure Monitor in order to do the monitoring, and then analyzing and responding to the security events. Like when you are configuring the policies, what exactly it is, you have access policies, you have Azure role-based access control, and then you have to manage the identities. So when I'm saying managing the identities, like enabling the managed identities for Azure resources, grant key vault access to resource like Azure VMs, logic apps, and functions. So we can configure it. The same way when I'm saying Azure role-based access control, this is something where we utilize Azure RBAC to control the access to the key vaults. And then same way, you can assign roles like keys, vault, readers, key vault contributors, and key vault administrators. So these are the stuff we can do here. When you're talking about the advanced feature, uh, when we are saying advanced feature, so advanced feature is also coming with the managed identities for Azure resources. We have a Key Vault integration with Azure DevOps, and then using Key Vault with third-party applications, right? When you say third-party application, the integration of SDKs and APIs using Azure SDKs like Python, .NET, Java, JavaScript for Key Vault integration. Then leverage REST APIs for programmatic access. The same way, if you see here, integration can be done even for the Azure PowerShell and command line interface called CLI. Then the same way for application configurations, where application configuration are basically entitled for storing the application configuration settings in Key Vault, retrieving the secrets and securely during the runtime, and the use libraries like Azure.identity and Azure.security key vaults and the secrets. Then services integrations are also parts of that, like services integrating the key vaults with Azure services like app services, functions, Kubernetes, and the same way for using the key vaults references to manage configuration and secrets. So basically, these all things can be a part of this understanding and this structure. Now, when you're talking about the best practices and recommendation, so best practices one can evolve and explore in a manner like security best practices for using key vaults, performance and scalability considerations, and cost management tips. So if you see here, the Azure Key Vault is an essential service for securely managing your keys, secrets, and certificates in the cloud. Understanding its architecture and components, creating and managing key vaults, and configuring access policies are crucial steps to leveraging its full potential. Integrating Azure Key Vaults into your applications and workflows enhances security and compliance, ensuring that sensitive information is well protected in your cloud environment. So these are the basic things which we need to understand in order to go with the key vaults. Benefits, I can again repeat. I think I have covered in my slide number 3 and 4. The very first thing you will get the enhanced security. The key vaults, Azure Key Vaults gives you the enhanced security, centralized management, simplified deployment, and the integration of your seamlessly with services. When I'm saying integration, Azure Key Vaults integrate seamlessly with other Azure services such as Azure Storage, Azure Virtual Machines, and Azure App Services. These ensure that your applications are securely used, the secrets and key is stored in your key vaults. So four benefits of the Azure Key Vaults, you can name it: enhanced security, centralized management, simplified deployment, and integration. Now, if we talk about the core features, again, just for the recapping, Core features is your access policies, audit logs, versioning, backup and restore, high availability and redundancy. These are the core feature of your Azure Key Vaults. So in the nutshell, Azure Key Vaults core features: access policies, audit logs, versioning, backup and restore, high availability and redundancy. Let's go one by one. Access policies is control who and what can access your key vaults through role-based access control in policies. Audit logs keep track of activities related to your secrets, keys, and certificate with detailed log that can be integrated with Azure Monitor and other monitoring tools. Versioning maintain multiple versions of the secrets, keys, and certificate to support safe relations and rollback strategies. Backup and restore ensure that the availability of your cryptographic keys and secrets with backup and restore capabilities. High availability and redundancy. Azure Key Vault is designed to be highly available, offering geo redundancy and failover capability. These are the core features of your Azure Key Vault. The very same manner, the benefits I have again explained: enhanced security, centralized management, simplified deployment, and integration. So these are the best information you can leverage in order to go with Azure Key Vaults. Now, if anyone is saying, what is the use cases of Azure Key Vaults? You can name it: secure application development, data encryption, certificate management, compliance and auditing. Let's go one by one. Azure Key Vaults use cases. The best use cases is very first, securing your application development. You can store and manage your API keys, database connection strings, and other sensitive configurations securely in your Key Vault. Let's go. The use case number two, data encryption. Use Azure Key Vault to manage encryption keys for data protection in Azure storage, SQL database, and other Azure services. Let's go for use case number three, certificate management. Automate the process of renewing, issuing, and managing your secure socket layer and transports layer security, which is nothing but SSL and TLS certificate for web applications. Compliance and auditing. Ensure compliance with regulatory requirements by centralizing and securing sensitive information and by providing the detailed audit log. So these are the best use cases you can name it when you're talking about the Azure Key Vault, right? Now, so let me conclude this video. For the Azure Key Vault, it's a very powerful tool for managing and securing your sensitive information into the cloud. By centralizing the management of the secret, keys, and certificate, it is going to enhance the security, simplify your administration, and support the compliance efforts. Whether you are developing your application, managing infrastructure, or ensuring the regulatory compliance, Azure Key Vaults provides the tools you need to keep your data secure. That's all I had to discuss on this Azure Key Vault topic. Very soon, I'm going to make another video with the new topics. Until then, goodbye and thank you so much.